They're both nurses, Fernando and Shannon, and it's funny because Fernando and I talk quite a bit, like when we run into each other outside the house, that sort of thing, and every once in a while when I'm talking to him, we're talking because this is the connection to me, the parents is. Greg's a male nurse. When he's talking to his daughter's his daughter's soon to be husband and father. He's like, Greg's a male nurse.
I know.
And he looks at me, he's like, man, I'm just playing. He at the first time I said he looks at me, he's like I was kidding, man, it's just a joke. I was like, okay. Like he wasn't really upset, but I was kind of like, wait, what? So
Does he get like a lot of flack from people?
no, I'm just bothered. I'm just teasing him. So
Okay, yeah, but I was just wondering because the movie always made me think when I saw it. I thought, oh my gosh, I had no idea that male nurses, they might really get, banged up on, and so I didn't know if that he could relate to Greg's experience in the film.
well, no, I mean because there are a lot of male nurses, but majority of them are in the ER,
Oh, okay.
and mainly there's like a lot of lifting and stuff like that, and not that the females can't do it, but it just seems the way it kind of pans out.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
like, I'm not sure. Like, I really don't know if that's just how. I'm sure that's just how it pans out. I don't think it's done purposely. I think it's just the way of so. But yeah, so yeah, no, it doesn't get flack at all. So I was just joking around. I mean, like, because I mean, in the movie, like, De Niro was just being a douche, trying to degrade him a little bit, like make him feel like a subpar because he's a male nurse.
I know he was really mean.
That movie's got I had such a classic. I had such a classic one now, and there's so many good lines, and De Niro was so good in that.
Yeah.
And just when he finds Danny's bowl in the jacket because Greg was wearing it. Are you a pothead fucker? No, it's just now, fucker. Listen up. I'm a fair man, but if you cross me, I will bring you down, baby. I will bring you down to Chinatown.
I know there's so many classic lines, and Christopher Walken was originally either cast or I think he was cast and he dropped out to play Jack. So he's great, but I can't imagine anyone but Robert De Niro playing that part.
Yeah, no, very true. Christopher Walken would have been good, but he would have been just a little bit more serious because just the way he talks, right? It's just like I mean, he obviously he's funny, but like it would kind of come across with both like kind of this serious but funny, even though he's not really smiling at all.
Exactly.
But yeah, I couldn't. It'd be hard to picture him going, "Oh, is that Greg's a male nurse?"
I know.
And they did just something like that, right? When you're so, it'd be funny as hell if like someone like overdubbed everything with Christopher Walken's voice, but but you're
That
right.
would be pretty funny.
But you're right. I couldn't picture anyone but De Niro doing that role. Like it just. But thinking Christopher Walken just makes me laugh because I think it would be kind of stupid funny, right?
Yes.
So yeah, those are. Well, we did a couple 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon there, eh?
We did.
So everything is relative and everything matches up in some form or another. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get there, but it does happen.
It's very true.
So yeah, this week in general, it's been fairly busy. There's been a lot of stuff going on, so I haven't got a chance to watch too much. I mean, I was happy to be able to watch Flash and Arrow like literally just about 2-3 hours ago. But it's been pretty busy, so even with the PVR, I'll get to watch like maybe 5 minutes of something, and then you won't get to watch the rest of it till like days later just because I don't have the time.
All right.
But next week should be a little slower because I mean there's a few things. So right now, I mean, besides like Flash and Arrow, I don't watch too much else, to be honest. I mean, like we talked about this before, but there's a few reality shows. There's Pawn Stars, which is a pawn shop in the Las Vegas, and it's entertainment just because majority of the time, and I'm pretty sure everything's all set up. Whatever, I don't care because it's mainly the stuff people are bringing in. A lot of there's a good history behind it, so. I'm more watching it for that aspect of things as opposed to like its actual like merit as as a TV show. But there's also another one called Counting Cards where again it's pretty much set. I mean, if it wasn't, I'd be very surprised. But no, they drive around and they look for old cars to either buy off people, and then they'll soup it up and sell it, or people will come in and commission them to do something. So they'll bring in, let's say, like a '68 Mustang convertible, and they want them to do it up this way, and they give them a budget, so they work on it. And no, it's really cool. I mean, once the cars are done, I mean, they look amazing, and so it's kind of funny just because it shows it's rubbed off on me a little bit. I mean, I've always liked cars, but what he does in the shows, they're driving around, and they see the cool car. They pull up next person and say, can you pull over for a few minutes because I want to talk to your car talk to you about your car. And they go, most of the time they say yes, so they pull over and talk about the car for a little bit, right? So now I find myself sometimes, like, let's say if I'm out doing whatever, and I hit a light, and I got like a really nice old car beside me. If the window's down, I'll lean over and tell them, like, that's a sweet ride, and like, usually I'm pretty good with the years. I mean, I'm not always bang on. I might be off by like a few years, but I'm close enough. I'm pretty much within the time period, we'll call it. And most people are more than happy to talk about their cars. So I'll pull up next to them. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like, what is it? Like 68. Like, gotcha, yeah, you're right. So that's a good rolling. Like, what are you got under the hood? Oh, I know, like a 352 twin cams. Like, awesome. So,
that is pretty cool.
So yeah, and like I said, most people are willing to talk about it, and at the light. Then once the light changes, so you got about 2 minutes or less at most lights to find out all about this car before you take off.
That is neat. That is really neat. And you see an old style car, and I've always wanted to say something, but haven't had the nerve.
Well, the thing is, when I lived in Michigan, you see them a lot more. Obviously, Motor City, and most people had some sort of classic car, whether it be like a 57 Chevy Bel Air, or like an old like 67 Cadillac, or like a 72 Corvette Stingray. There was a lot of classic cars around. The old like 36 or was it 39 Ford T-Bucket, and like, so there's a lot of cool ones. And like I said, most people are willing to talk about it. And the Dream Cruise used to be cool until it became like very commercial in Detroit. Well, because it goes along the main strip Woodward, so it pretty much goes from like in the burbs right to downtown along Woodward, so you get to see all these classic cars. So what they do to keep traffic moving is the the two outside lanes are kind of through traffic, and the two inner lanes are the classic cars. Either way, they have it. Whether it's that or reverse, they have it set up so people can look at the cars, because the cars are literally cruising, so they're not going fast at all. So you're really getting a chance to get a good look at these cars as they go by.
That's neat.
Now there's just so many people. It's not worth it anymore. It hasn't been for years. The first few years was a lot of fun, but now it's just like, you really got to get down there early. It's not a place you can exactly walk to. I mean, like, you can walk 3 or 4 blocks or whatever, but no, you can't catch a cab because there's not really any cabs in Michigan, and it'd be too expensive. So it's almost a hassle now. So it's not really fun anymore. And like I said, it hasn't been for years, but the first few years it was there when it started, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
That is neat. Are they still doing it?
As far as I know, yeah, it's already passed. It's always in August.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was 2 months ago now. So, but yeah, I mean, like, I haven't been in years because I said it's not worth my while. I know, and usually during the summer, there's a couple of A&Ws where they have like just like a pretty much a lot next to them where people will park their classic cars, and so people come up and talk to them about it, so they're more than happy. So they got the hoods up and everything, so they get a chance to look around these cars and and take a really good hard look and ask them about the car and just hear what they've done to it. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is so sweet. Like, I wish I had the cash to buy one or to do this myself, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever get where you see a car and you're kind of bummed out, like you feel like you really, really want it?
Yeah. Well, the other day, for example, is when I took my car into the shop, and when I pulled up on the side of the building, there was it was just like, I think it was a 69 or 70 Challenger.
Whoa.
And this thing was just, it was purple, and actually the purple actually did look good on it. And and I'm looking around, like really nice rims, and it just, and so handed the keys in, and then when the mechanic came back, he says, before he says, what's going on? This is what's going on. First question I asked is, whose Challenger is that in the side of the building? Very first question, forget about my car, whose Challenger is that?
And did you meet the owner?
No, he wasn't there, unfortunately. I was hoping he'd be around, but he's like, no, it's customers, and he dropped it off. He won't be back. Blah blah. It's like, So maybe next time I bring the car in, like maybe he'll be around or something like that. Because like I was really curious because like I really want to like kind of like actually like get a good look in the inside because the windows are up and obviously you can see in, but I don't want to be like kind of breathing and like putting like putting like crap
on the glass.
All right, exactly. So no, it's kind of one of those ones where you kind of put your arms behind your back and kind of lean and try to look and see what you can see. So, but I would have liked to see the actual interior. Actually, like maybe not. It'd be cool to sit down in it, but at least just get in. At least just open the door and have a look on the inside. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be cool. I just say the one car I always get excited about if it flies by. Well, there are three actually, but the one, and this is a more current quote unquote car. It's not a classic, but when the Dodge Viper moves past you, it just catches your eye, and I think that's just a beautiful car. And then of course the Ferrari, which I used to play an arcade game all the time where you drive a Ferrari. So it's always been my dream to see. I would do okay on the game, and I thought, man, I wonder what I could do in an actual one. So I'm always that's on my bucket list to take care of, before I kick it.
Right. Well, here's a fun fact about actually no, it's not Ferraris, it's the Lamborghinis, I believe. So no, it is Ferraris. And it's from what I've heard, Ferraris actually have a special driver to test the Ferraris, just because they're just incredibly fast. So your average Joe would get in, and that's why a lot of times these cars are destroyed out the hop, because the stars that buy them, they can't handle the power of this car, and it has a lot of power under the hood. I mean, this thing is super fast. Like you barely touch the gas, the thing will fly. It's 0-60 is like 2.3 seconds or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. So this thing is really effing fast. so they really have a special driver to test drive them when they come off the line or whatever, that sort of thing, because it just it's one of those ones that anyone can drive. So if you ever go to crossing off your bucket list, you'll never be able to drive one unless you buy one.
Ooh, well, that is a bummer. I'm going to have to meet someone who has one and ask if I can maybe take a little ride.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know. Whenever I see someone with a Ferrari, I try to, go up to them and be like, oh, I'm always curious to see why they bought it. Was it a lifelong dream? I always done that with my dad, though, so I don't know. We've been out and seen him growing up and everything. But did you know, someone recently told me a story about what created Lamborghini and Ferrari, and it was because there was this farmer, and he came up to Ferrari, and he told him that there were some things they could do to improve it, and the guy was like, what do you know? You're just a farmer. And then that guy was like, fine, I'll just take what I know and make my own car. And then he ended up making the Lamborghini.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He's like, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
All right, so lastly, we got a few minutes left here. Let's get into your blogs. What you've been working on? What do you got coming up?
Okay, well, obviously, review of Gone Girl. I will be doing a companion piece because, obviously, in the review, I didn't want to get into any spoilers. So the companion piece will be more of a spoiler-specific reasonings as to what I felt problems were with the film. And I'm still working on a title for that, but it's just gonna be 5 major points about it. So it's not gonna be it won't be too long of a read. And then double dose of guilty pleasure movies. So there are 2 movies coming out. First one comes out this week and the next week that I would definitely say are movies that we're not going to win any Oscars, but they are just fun. And the first one is The Best of Me, which is Nicholas Sparks' latest love story. I'm sure you will be there.
Oh, yeah, front and center.
With your Best of Me t-shirt and book. And so that's coming out, and I just, I know they're not the greatest movies, but I always do enjoy them. They are my guilty pleasures, and I know people who don't like them, but I'm sorry. For me, it's an hour and a half of beautiful scenery, a love story, and normally a really decent soundtrack. And the second movie is John Wick, which is coming out next week, which is a completely opposite of that genre. It's an action thriller, and Keanu Reeves, I never know how to pronounce it. I need to get that straight. And he plays a retired hitman who has his puppy is killed in a home invasion, and he goes after the puppy's killer to bring them to justice. So I'm psyched to see this. Willem Dafoe and Ian McShane are co-starring. I'm kind of iffy always on Reeves because if he builds himself around, where he doesn't have to give a lot of emotional versatility, it works for him. So the trailer for this looked really good, and I'm pretty jazzed to see it when it comes out.
Oh, right on. Well, that is pretty much all the time we have for us. So we'll be back next.